Hi, thank you for joining me for another edition of Insight from my book, where we explore ideas that strengthen our leadership, deepen our understanding, and inspire us to become wiser citizens in an ever changing world. Whether you are joining us from New York or California, Texas or Florida, Alaska or Hawaii, or from American communities serving, studying, working, or living abroad, I am honored to have you with us today. My name is Reverend Dr. Clarence R. Pearson, Sr. I am a pastor, researcher, leadership consultant, public policy observer, and author with a passion for helping individuals, communities, institutions, and nations grow through wisdom, ethical leadership, responsible citizenship, and informed decision making. Today, I would like to share another important insight from my latest book, Neither Left Nor Right: The Battle for America's Democratic Soul. Our focus today comes from Chapter 15, Youth in the Crossfire. The central lesson of this chapter is both sobering and hopeful. The greatest casualty of America's political division may not be today's politicians, it may be tomorrow's generation. Every generation inherits more than wealth. When we think about inheritance, we often think about homes, savings, businesses, or family possessions. But every generation inherits something even more valuable. It inherits a culture, a civic tradition, a political system, a moral example. Young people learn far more from what they observe than from what they are told. They watch how adults handle disagreement. They observe how leaders use power. They notice how institutions are treated. They listen to the language we use when we speak about people who think differently. Whether we realize it or not, every generation is writing the civic textbook that the next generation will read. The question is, what lessons are we teaching? Young people are watching. America's young people are paying attention. They see political debates that often generate more heat than light. They see social media rewarding outrage over understanding. They see friendships broken over politics. They see families divided over elections. They see institutions questioned. And sometimes they wonder whether democracy itself still works. Many young Americans are not rejecting citizenship. They are questioning whether citizenship still makes a difference. That should concern every generation, because when young people lose confidence in democratic participation, democracy itself becomes more vulnerable. The mental health challenge. Chapter 15 also examines one of the defining issues of our time, the mental health of our young people. Anxiety, depression, loneliness, isolation, and uncertainty have become increasingly common experiences for many adolescents and young adults. There is no single explanation. Many factors contribute: family pressures, economic uncertainty, academic expectations, technology, social media, global crises, political conflict. Together, these influences create an environment where many young people struggle to find stability. While politics alone is not responsible for this crisis, a culture of constant outrage and perpetual conflict certainly does not help. Healthy societies should cultivate hope, not hopelessness. The digital generation faces unique challenges. No generation in American history has grown up with as much information as today's young people. Yet information alone does not produce wisdom. Many young Americans receive news through short videos, social media feeds, online influencers, and algorithm-driven platforms. These technologies provide extraordinary opportunities for learning, but they also create unprecedented opportunities for misinformation, manipulation, and polarization. Young people deserve more than unlimited information. They deserve the tools to evaluate it critically. Critical thinking has become one of the most essential civic skills of the 21st century. Teaching our children how to think is far more important than teaching them what to think. Lessons from school shootings. One of the most heartbreaking case studies discussed in this chapter concerns the recurring tragedy of school shootings. Every incident represents an immeasurable human loss. Students, teachers, families, communities, entire schools forever changed. Americans hold differing views regarding the causes and appropriate policy responses. Reasonable people continue to debate questions involving mental health, firearm policy, school security, Family stability and community responsibility. Those debates will continue. But there is one truth upon which every American can agree. Children should never have to fear for their safety while pursuing an education. Whatever our political differences may be, protecting our children should always remain a shared national priority. Some issues must rise above partisanship. The safety and well being of our children is surely one of them. Young people need hope more than anger. Perhaps the greatest responsibility of every generation is to leave behind hope, not fear, not resentment, not permanent division, hope. Young Americans need leaders who inspire them, teachers who encourage them, parents who guide them, communities that believe in them. They need to see adults solving problems together, respecting one another, serving their communities, protecting democratic institutions, and demonstrating that disagreement does not require hostility. Hope is contagious. So is cynicism. Every generation chooses which one it will pass forward. Why this matters today. This conversation matters because America's future is already sitting in today's classrooms, working today's first jobs, serving in today's military, volunteering in today's communities, preparing to become tomorrow's scientists, doctors, teachers, business leaders, public servants, parents, and presidents. If we fail to invest in their civic character, if we fail to strengthen their confidence in democratic institutions, if we fail to model respectful citizenship, then we should not be surprised when the Republic struggles in the years ahead. The future of democracy depends upon the preparation of its future citizens. 3 questions for reflection. This week, I encourage you to reflect on 3 simple questions. 1. What example of citizenship am I setting for the young people who are watching me? 2. Am I contributing more hope than fear to the next generation? 3. How can I encourage a young person to become an informed, engaged, and respectful citizen? These questions are not reserved for parents alone. Every adult helps shape the next generation. Every conversation matters. Every example matters. Every act of integrity matters. Why I wrote this chapter. I wrote this chapter because I believe America's greatest natural resource is not found beneath the ground. It is not measured on Wall Street. It is not contained in military strength. America's greatest resource is its young people. Every generation inherits the Republic, but every generation must also renew it. The next generation deserves more than political slogans. They deserve functioning institutions, healthy communities, strong schools, honest leadership, and a democracy worthy of their confidence. That responsibility belongs to all of us. In closing, let's quickly review today's insight. Today we learned 1. Every generation inherits a civic culture as well as material resources. 2. Young Americans are carefully observing how adults handle disagreement and leadership. 3. Mental health, technology, and political polarization are shaping the next generation in profound ways. 4. Children's safety and well-being should always rise above partisan politics. 5. Critical thinking is one of the most important skills we can teach our youth. 6. America's future depends upon raising citizens who value truth, service, responsibility, and democratic participation. When these principles guide our lives, young people gain confidence, communities grow stronger, and democracy becomes more resilient. If today's insight has been meaningful to you, I encourage you to get a copy of my book, Neither Left Nor Right: The Battle for America's Democratic Soul. The book is available through Amazon and other major online booksellers. Simply search for my name, Clarence R. Pearson, to discover this and my other published works. After reading the book, I encourage you to leave an honest review to help other readers discover this important conversation. I would also be honored if you would follow my Amazon author page to stay informed about future books, leadership resources, civic education materials, and new releases. Before you go, please follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Together, we can invest in the next generation, strengthen our communities, promote responsible citizenship, and preserve the democratic values that have guided our nation for generations. I have been your presenter, Reverend Dr. Clarence R. Pearson, Sr. helping you transform knowledge into wisdom, conviction into character, and citizenship into impact. Thank you for joining me for this edition of Insight from my book. Until next time, remember, the future of America will not be determined only by the elections we hold today, but by the values we teach our children today. If we give them truth instead of misinformation, hope instead of cynicism, character instead of outrage, and citizenship instead of tribalism, they will inherit more than a nation. They will inherit a republic worthy of their dreams. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.